Howdy, Possum Patty and little Miss Titi here. Yes, she is. If you watched the last episode of Just Journaling with Possum Patty, you would know that I left this pile of journals here on the table to get some journaling done. And I left a pile of supplies over here. I have happy mail that I want to put in the journals, a whole bunch of journaling to do. So what did I do today? Did I do journaling? No, I did not. I made a whole new mess on the table that I would like to share with you, so come on along. As you can see, I have these quirky little birds here on my table, and some are made out of paper and some are made out of fabric. Well, I saw this idea in a magazine. Now, I didn't buy the magazine, so I didn't have any directions on how to do this, but I thought these were super fun, super easy, and just cute little things that you could tuck into like a pocket on your journal page, or you can do a slow stitch project, or you can just pop it in some happy mail. Or you could just make a bunch of these and sort of leave them around in different places and, make someone smile today. So I had to go by memory from the picture that I saw in the magazine and sort of in my mind reverse engineer it. Now, the magazine did show that it was made from a strip of paper, and I did some with paper and some with fabric, just trying out different things. So I've been working on this for a while, well, since yesterday, and I want to share this with you. But if you would like to make these along with me, yes, I have a printout for you, a free printout on how to make these very simple birds. Now, you could probably do it without these patterns. You can make up your own pattern once you have the idea of using just a strip of fabric or a strip of paper. But this one does show you exactly how to do it, and I will show you how to use this. So if you'd like to follow along, stop the video just for a second, go to the description below, click on the link. It's to my Google Drive, and you can print this out for free, no cost. And I have here the poem by Emily Dickinson. I love this. Hope is the thing with feathers that perches in the soul and sings the tune without the words and never stops at all. Isn't that beautiful? So I thought it would be a great project to make these little Hope is the thing with feathers, these little birds that you could just make very quickly and, give them to people, leave them everywhere, and it would just be a fun thing. Make somebody smile. So it took me a while to figure this out, okay, because like I said, I didn't buy the magazine. So I have been working on it. I've been working on the directions, and I've been working on the birds, trying out different things. Now, I haven't worked out all the kinks yet because I do want to sew some of these a little bit more and put on wings on this one. I put wings on this one. As you can see, just a ruffle of fabric. But what happened with this one was the beak, I cut it too small, and so it just frayed off. So I added a piece of felt and a bead eye. I might change that bead though, because I think that bead is just a little too light colored. Maybe put in like a green bead or something that'll show up a little better. And then the paper ones, I drew some eyes on. So I'm just having fun with these, but they're super easy. All right, so let's just make one together. And let's just start with the paper birds, and I will show you exactly how to use your free digital printout set. So I'm going to grab some scissors, and the first bird that we're going to cut out is the one that says Practice Bird. So I am just going to cut this out because I'm going to use it. I drew little wings there if you'd like to add some wings. And I also included two variations. One sort of has a forked tail and one doesn't. So I made the beak a little bit bigger on this one. But you know, if you're doing like a cardinal, like if you want to make a red bird, you can add a little crest on the top. You can make different kinds of wings. You can add embellishments, maybe little buttons. I was trying to keep some of these simple like this to put into mail. But then if you're going to make some just to leave around, then you could like add little wings and beads on them. And this is just real cute. I could just put this somewhere and let somebody find that. That would be super fun. All right, so I have my practice bird cut out. And these are just hand-drawn patterns, so they're not perfect. Well, they are. They are possum perfect. They are definitely possum perfect. And I gave you the quote. So if you want to cut that out and put it in your journal, you could use that. So like I said, these are all hand-drawn and perfectly possum perfect, which means they might be a little wonky. And you know, when I cut, sometimes I get too close with the scissors or make an oops. Now, I printed this out on cardstock, so if you're able to do that, then that makes for a nice tracing piece. Now, if you want to use this for your bird, you know, that is perfectly fine. You could just take this piece of paper and color it in and fold it up, and there's your bird. But I'm using these as, you know, tracing patterns. Now, because you're going to see both sides of the paper, I'm using double-sided paper, okay? Double-sided paper, because this is the back and this is the front. Or you can do it this way, and this is the front and this is the back. So you can do it either way. So I'm going to take the pattern. I took the one with the forked tail for right now. And I am going to, whoops, sorry about that. Things falling on the floor. All right, now I was talking about using scraps, but you know what? This paper is sitting here, and I really want to use this paper. So the only way to break the ice here is to just go ahead and use it for something. It's like, oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. I have to save it for something. So I am just going to use it because it is double-sided. And once I cut into it, I will use it no problem. Like if you want to make a duck, just make a round beak. If you want to make a chicken, you could just add a comb and a wattle. So very easy, very simple. Basically, you're making a strip. But you will notice on the other bird, where did I put the other bird? The other bird, that this is the head upright and the tail's upside down. Because when you fold it together, then they'll both be right side up. So don't think that's a mistake. This is done on purpose. So whatever you do for the tail, just remember that the tail goes this way and the head goes that way. And when you cut on fabric, the very careful with the beak. Make sure that you leave enough fabric there so that it doesn't fray at the edge, but we'll get to fabric in a minute. Let's just work with paper. All right, so now we have another bird to cut out. And if you have any ideas that you want to share what I can do with these birds, or the different types of embellishments that you would like to add, please go ahead and do that in the comments. Okay, I'm going to say, whoops, what happened? Not a problem. The pencil marks didn't show up, so I'm just going to, or I don't even need to trace that. I could just cut a split in there. Now, because this paper is double-sided, I will have pencil marks on one side. So as you can see, I did the lighter side so that I can erase them. And I can draw in the eye later. All right, so far, so good. Very easy. Cut out your patterns, trace it, cut the paper out. Use a double-sided paper. Isn't that gorgeous? I love this paper. And now, what do you do next? You get your practice bird. All right, don't lose this piece. Keep this piece because this is going to tell you exactly how to make the bird. All right, look for number 1. There's a 1, a 2, and a 3. Number 1, you're going to fold the tail in. And watch this. If I put my piece of paper, I'm going to line the head up. All right, so I'm going to line the head up over here. And I'm noticing that this is, I cut it a little off, or I traced it a little off. And I'm just going to slim that down a little bit. Because when you fold it together, that does make a little bit of a difference. It's better being a little thin. All right, so I put this on here, and it doesn't matter that you're using a different tail. Just line it up. Now, on the tail side, move your paper back a little bit until you can see that line. And where it says fold the tail in, okay, press your paper down right on that line because you want that angle. It's the angle that's important. Now this is a little bit easier with the fabric because, you know, the fabric is so bendable. Paper, it's just a little bit trickier because you want to get that angle right there. So you just put the bird on top of your pattern, line up the head, look at the tail, fold it back until you see the line. And it's not critical. I mean, you can fool with it afterwards, all right? Spin it around, take the head, and look for where it says fold over the tail. So here's the tail, here's the head. You want to fold it over the tail on that angle right there. On that angle, okay? This is thick paper. This is thick paper. Probably be very easy with origami paper. Oh, you know what? I should try it with some origami paper. I'll do that later. And down here it says open area. So you can see there's an open area there, but it's supposed to be there. So that's why I said that. And it comes out to be about 1 inch from there to there. Okay, so that's about 1 inch. And you've got that little open area there. Now, if I did it right, you can see number 3, fold the head in. So you're like this, turn it over, and see the head is going to get tucked in right there. And there is your bird. Now, if you wanted more green than yellow, I really like that other paper better. So the way I folded it, I got mostly yellow, but I would like to get mostly that side. It's not a problem. All you have to do is reverse your folds. Okay, so I'm just going to reverse my fold. I'm doing the same folds, but now I've got all this green here, and that's the color that I wanted mostly. And the head will be yellow. Oh no, well, yeah, it'll be yellow on the other side. The head will be yellow on this side, and the tail will be yellow on this side. Like that. And then you put a little eye there. You can use a button. You can do anything you want. If you want it to be a little bit shorter tail, I think I did make the tail a little bit bigger on this one. Or you want to make these splits a little narrower. I think I want to make that tail a little bit narrower. You can play with it. And that's it. You make a strip, you fold it, and there is your bird. Now I was putting an eye, I was putting a beak, like that, and an eye. For the eye, I just made like a horseshoe, and then a little line like that, and pen kind of goes through. The Sharpie kind of goes through the paper, but that's okay. And then a little line like that. And if it comes out wonky, don't worry about it. And then a little smile. Give him a little smile like that. He looks angry. Angry birds. Give him a little smile. There we go. And you can take a white gel pen and give them a little white around the eye. You can do anything you want. That's it. That's it. It is done. It's very simple. It is done. You can, like I said, make different tails. You can add on a wing. Well, now, if you want to give your little bird a wing, I did include those wing patterns, or you can just make up your own. I thought maybe I would put some purple wings on this little guy and just kind of make a wing shape. Any kind of fun shape would do. Maybe the little scissors. So the top of the wing, it's going to go on this way. Oh, TT's making a lot of noise. She's out in the hallway playing with her toy. That's her, I'm playing with my, my toy noise. She wants me to go out there and play with her. Give your bird a little wing. Now you can put a drop of glue in there if you want to, you know, have everything secure. So I'm just going to put a little glue on the wing. And I'm going to put the wing on the bird. And maybe I'll put a little glue in there. And a little glue on this side. And just hold that for a moment. If you don't want to put a face on there, you don't have to put a face. This one doesn't have a face yet. This material is very silky, so I'm going to put a stitch in here. Hold that together. And this one I haven't finished either. They're going to wait for the glue to dry on this one, but this one is finished. And then I have these other papers that I can add some eyes and wings. Well, that one has an eye. Maybe he'll get a wing. You can make them go either way or both ways. Both ways if you want to. I love this one with the green and the purple. So basically, you don't really have to do much to them unless you want to. Unless you want to put buttons or wings or whatever you want. Do as little or as much as you want to. Or, you know, if you have those little tiny feathers, you can tack a little feather on there for a wing. You can use a bead for an eye, like I said, or just put a little French knot or something there. Or you can add a felt beak or felt wings. There's just so many things you can do. I'll probably work on these some more and, you know, do different variations of them. So with the material, what I did was I cut 2 different fabrics and I used my glue stick to glue them together. Oh, here's my wings. Optional wings. Okay. All right, so we're going to slide these over to the side for a moment. Now we're going to put the paper up there and we're going to focus on the material birds. So I have a ton of scraps. And if you have just some scraps, you know, like strips that you took off of something for a project, that would be perfect for these. If you have a material that, you know, you can rip and it rips pretty straight. Now, a lot of material, if you rip it in one direction, it rips straight. But if you rip it in the other direction, it goes crooked. So you have to know which kind you have, you know, which direction you're going in before you do that. Now on this Dollar Tree material, I really don't know what direction it rips in. Do I want to sacrifice a piece and see? Well, we can do that. All right, so what I did with these birds that aren't done yet, everybody move aside, is I took the pattern like that, and I said, okay, the bird's about that wide, and I left a little extra because, you know, it's going to unravel. So it doesn't matter to the bird except for when you sew, you know, you can't get too close to that edge. That's going to unravel. So leave a little extra room. And then I'll cut it. We don't know if this is going to rip correctly or not. But we shall see. No. No. See, it gets thinner and thinner and thinner. So this is on a diagonal. So that's not going to work. All right. That's okay. I will use that for something else. Not a problem. So with the Dollar Tree fabric, so if I ripped it this way, that would be the thing to do. But that is not going to work. So let's just take the pattern. And on the back of the material, now sometimes it's hard to get the pencil to write. You might have a piece of tailor's chalk. A pen might leave a mark that you don't like. So be careful with that. And the only tricky part when doing it with material, I don't want that scissors, is the beak. Like I said, because if you make it too small or too thin and your material starts unraveling, you might not like that. He'll lose his beak, but like I did on this one, I just added on a felt beak. And I grabbed a piece of white because that was sitting over there. And maybe I have some orange felt somewhere. I might have like orange and black down with my Halloween things. So I'll have to check those out. Here's where I have to be careful. Make the beak a little fatter than you think you like it. because you can always trim it down. Now, what I did to make this process easier, there's going to be a colorful bird. I know his tail got kind of square, though. I don't know how that happened, but we're not going to worry about it. And let's take, where's that other colorful piece I had over here? Okay. To make this even easier, what I did was take the one that I've already cut out, and on the back, I took my glue stick, and especially at the beak and the tail, I just put lots of glue on there. And took my little bird and laid it down on, put up here, the other fabric. Press it, press it. Now this glue, Elmer's Craft Bond, Extra Strength, Permanent Bond, all that stuff, works really nice on fabric. So if your fabric is like wrinkly, you don't have to iron it. You just put the glue and go like this and all the wrinkles come out. And then I will just cut this, and then I'll wait a few minutes for that glue stick to dry a little bit, you know, or else it's going to get my needle all gunky. But this is definitely going to be a tropical bird. A tropical, colorful bird. Oh, look, the beak has got those two little orange things on it. That's funny. I did not plan it that way. Okay, so and we'll just let that dry for a moment. Now, I do have these two that I can work on. So I think I will go ahead, and what I'm going to do is stitch around the edge. And whatever side you want showing, like this one I wanted a lot of green with the purple tail and the purple head. And then I think I was going to make one, this one, oh, this is the same. So this one will be mostly pink with a little bit of a green head. So I want the head green. So I'm going to start stitching right in the middle, right there. And that's where my knot is going to be. Or you can, this is dry though, but if it was still wet, you can slip your needle in between the two pieces and come out that way. But it doesn't matter because you're not going to see this. It's going to be inside. So look for the middle, like there. And I'm going to come in from the edge because I don't like to sew where it starts to unravel. And I'm going to leave my little tiny knot there because it's not going to show anyway. And then I'm just going to do a straight stitch all around the edge like that. It is such a lovely evening. I thought I would come outside to do this little bit of stitching. And of course, Titi wanted to come outside too. How many people wear their cats? She is just so crazy about sitting on my shoulder. That's all she wants to do all the time. If I go out the door, she wants to come and she wants to be on my shoulder. You want to see that part of you. So all I'm going to do on my feathers of hope bird. Dee, you can't get tangled up in the thread. No, go look. There's a grasshopper. Go look for the chipmunk. Go look for the chipmunk. It's just a straight stitch, and all you do is go in and out, in and out. It doesn't have to be perfect. First stitch is already crooked. That means it's already possum perfect. Just go watch nature. Yeah, it's a good girl. Don't have to watch me, watch nature. And so I saw these in a magazine. Well, what happened was I had an appointment, and the office is next to Joann Fabrics. And so we were early. So I said, oh, Mr. Possum, I want to go in and look around. So that's what I did. They're supposed to be having a big clearance sale. There was absolutely nothing I wanted to buy. And they were putting out the Halloween stuff, and to tell you the truth, I was not in a pumpkin mood when I went. So, no, I didn't buy any Halloween stuff or fall decorations or anything, even though there was a sale. And, oh, sun's coming up a little bit over there. And, yeah, so I was looking through the magazine rack. And, whoa, magazines are so expensive. You know, I remember when they were 75 cents and $1.25. And then they went up to like $2.95. And I was still buying them at $2.95. But now a magazine is like $17.99, $24.99. It's like, whoa. Some of them, you know, are very enjoyable, but it's very expensive just for a magazine. You know, and a lot of them are expensive, and they're full of advertisements. And the ones that aren't full of advertisements cost even more. Oh, well, anyway, so I was looking through, get some ideas, and I saw that it had a pattern, actually had a pattern that was just a strip. And then it showed it folded up. And the whole idea in the magazine was also just to make these simple birds and leave them around. You know, give them to people, leave them here and there, let people find them. And I said, oh, that's very cool. So I went back out to the car and I wrote that down because, you know, the brain, she's a broke. Yeah. So I remember, and then when I got home, I brought that little note in the house, and I started working on it. But it took a while to sort of, you know, make a pattern and figure out how to fold it. And then, you know, make a template and then write the directions. And so this pattern is not, like I said, it's all hand-drawn and figured out, reverse engineered from a picture that I saw in a magazine. So I just thought it was a super fun, easy project for Slow Down Sunday. Slow Stitch Sunday. Make something hopeful. Hope, little birds of hope. That you could just pass along. All right, TT is calming down a little bit right now. She's getting a little relaxed, settling down. I don't want to pay any attention to her because she'll get all excited again. Well, I turned the camera off of me and onto the hummingbirds while we were outside. I just love to hear the humming of their wings. I'm trying to get a little organized here, which I should have done before I put the camera on, right? So here's my slow stitching. Perfectly imperfect, possum perfect. All right, because I put that there, I'm going to have to do it this way. So, you know, without using the pattern, fold the tail up like that. And then I'm going to fold that over. And you see that little open area, and that should be about an inch. About an inch. And then you flip it over and tuck in the head like that. It's like making a knot, really. You're just making a knot. And you can finagle it a little bit. Especially with the fabric. This is a great slow stitch project. I mean, it's really fun with paper too. So there's the paper and there's the fabric. Now, of course, I'm going to come back and do some more to these probably. You know, maybe I'll make some little wings. I'm saving little scraps. And of course, now I have this piece. And this was going to make some fun wings. So I'll do that. When I get some more made, maybe I'll just post some pictures on my community page and let me know if you want to share yours too, if you decided to print out the free digital and make some Hope is a Thing with Feathers of your own. And if you do, I hope you give some away. So thanks for coming along today for this little bit of a Sunday slow stitch project that you can make with paper if you want to. No problem. It works either way. Happy slow stitching. Bye-bye.